On this show, I focus on three main segments: entertainment, enlightenment, and engagement. On today's episode, I'm going to enlighten you on skincare. Now, the 8th most prevalent disease affects the skin, and to be more precise, affects the face. That is acne. Now, acne affects 80% of the world's population, with only 1/5 of this developing scars. Now, acne affects people aged 11 to 30 years. That is approximately the age where puberty starts and puberty ends, and further on goes to affect women aged 40 to 49 years of age. Now, where does acne come from? It is estimated that 50 to 90% of the people that contract acne get it due to genetic variation. Now, a large study was done in the UK on 400 twin pairs, and in this twin pairs, 81% of them were able to contract acne due to genetic factors. Let us go to the drawing board. Let's now take it quickly. What is acne and what causes it? Acne is the infection of the skin's sebaceous glands. Sebaceous glands are simply oil glands. They produce oil, which is called sebum. So sebaceous glands produce sebum. Now, this sebum protects the skin and the hair from desiccation. Majorly, it works to moisturize the skin and the hair. Now, how does acne occur? Obstruction of follicles of these oil glands by various aspects such as frequent washing, bacteria, viruses, germs, oils, dirt, amongst other microorganisms, leads to absence of sebum production. Now, if sebum is not produced, it starts accumulating in the glands. Once it accumulates in the glands, it starts swelling, and eventually the swellings get infected. Once they get infected, they lead to pustular eruptions called. The first major cause of acne is adolescence. You have reached your puberty and you see your first pimple and you're overjoyed or you're disappointed. Depending on what reaction you get, you must definitely have acne during your adolescence. Now, this doesn't apply to the 20%, but to the 80% that I mentioned that tend to get acne. During the adolescence, that is where you will start experiencing acne in various forms, either mild or severe acne. Another thing that can lead to acne is your genetics. As I mentioned earlier, 50 to 90% of the acne that people get in the world is due to the genetic variation. And this bacteria that is displayed here has a very difficult name. In the 20% of people that do not develop acne, researchers have come to discover that heredity affects their follicles, aiding them to become acne resistant. That is why they will never have this bacteria activated. But the 80% of us who are unlucky will have this bacteria stimulated, and it will lead to acne. Now, there are 4 main ways in which genetics can lead to acne of any kind of individual that falls under the category of 80%. The very first thing that can lead to acne due to genetics is an FDR. Now, an FDR is your first direct relative. This may be your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, or your younger sibling. If this person gets or contracts acne, you are likely to contract acne. That is not good news, but it's just facts, so you have to deal with it. The second thing that can lead to acne contraction due to genetics is if both your parents have severe acne, or they did have severe acne in the past. So if your parents had severe acne or have severe acne, you are likely to get acne. Now, there is an 80-20% chance that you will get acne due to genetic factors. The third thing that leads to acne is if your parents possess the same genetic components of acne or varying components of acne. Now, I'll break that down into 2. If one, your parents have the same genetic components of acne, you are likely to get one type of acne. I will get into the two types of acne after I'm done with the causes of acne. But to just highlight them, we have severe acne and mild acne. So if your parents had severe acne, both of them, you're likely to get severe acne. But if your parents had mild acne, you will also likely get mild acne. Last but not least, and this is the best part of it, is that if one parent has acne, there is a lower risk of you contracting acne. Now that is good news, but it is not guaranteed. Because if your parents still fall under the category of 80%, then my dear, you just have to struggle with acne like most of us did. Let's get into the third factor that causes acne. We have talked about adolescence, we have talked about genetics, and we're going to talk about your hormones. Now, in adolescent girls, 13% of them get acne due to their hormones. Now, hormones at this time are just starting to change, you're starting to transition, and you have not reached a specific state. You are neither in childhood nor in adulthood. You just know this age bracket is 11 to 30 years. That is the adolescence bracket, as I have mentioned earlier. Now, for males, or I would say boys, 14% of adolescents tend to get acne due to androgens. Androgens are the hormones that influence masculinization. So 14% of the boys tend to get acne during the adolescence period. That is why when you see your 12-year-old brother, he has probably 1,001 pimples on his face, and you have 0. But once he clocks 20 and you clock 20, you wonder, what is the reason? Why am I using 1,001 skincare products? And my brother is just using bar soap, the same towel that he actually applies, that he actually dries his face and his whole body with, and he has not even a single zit on his face. Life is so unfair, I know. But this is just how hormones work, and as they grow, the hormones tend to adapt and they tend to lose their acne. Another thing is that 50% of the women that are aged 20 to 29 years of age tend to get acne due to their hormones. Now, once you're 20 to 29, you're probably getting into motherhood, you're probably transiting and nearing your menopause, although menopause is around 40, but you're in transit. And as soon as you get into transit, you have hormones that are playing around the clock. They don't know what they're doing, but the main thing is that they're in a state of confusion, and the confusion definitely leads to acne. And last but not least, on hormones, it is good that you know that 25% of women aged 40 to 49 will develop acne due to the hormonal changes. I mentioned earlier that the ages 40 to 49 is where menopause has started kicking in, get acne due to the chemical reactions that are occurring in the body. That is for women aged 40 to 49 years, and that is 25% of the acne they get is due to the hormonal. Fourth thing that causes acne, that is stress. Now, stress is an inevitable factor. All of us have stress because we have to worry about what we'll eat tomorrow, what will be put on the table today. We just have to worry about things constantly. But as you constantly keep on worrying, this leads to acne. And the amount of acne that you are going to get from stress is 30%. Now, 30% is not a very small figure. It is quite a large figure. And there's no need of stressing yourself about it. If you worry about it, it won't change a thing. It will still remain a problem in your life. So the best thing that I would advise you is don't fret about it. Just forget about it and focus on what you can do. Last but not least, we have one main thing that people will actually, on the comment section, you can fight this. You can fight me for this, and I will gladly accept the war, because most of us tend to overlook this. And this is our diet. Now, our diet affects 43% of the acne that we are going to contract. Now, if you have a poor diet, you tend to get much more acne than that person who has a good diet. And if you're a person who has severe acne, then you need to watch your diet so much, because severe acne is quite profound comparative to mild acne, because mild acne has a way in which it can be treated and regulated, and eventually you can be able to control it. But severe acne actually requires a lot of attention and a lot of precision. So if you don't focus on your diet, you will just have no treatment or no regulation of it. Let's just put the tally down. As I mentioned earlier, 80% of the people in the world contract acne, and 80% of these people who contract acne have 43% of them having acne because of their diet. Now, this 43% is more than half of the people that are contracting acne. This is a wake-up call. This is supposed to teach you a lot, that much of what people consume is very poisonous to their skin and to themselves. Further on, I would like to inform you that there are two types of acne. There is mild acne or non-inflammatory acne, and we have severe acne or inflammatory acne. Now, mild acne is commonly blackheads and whiteheads, and severe acne goes further into 4 other types of acne. Now, mild acne is experienced by 60% out of the 80% of the people in the world that experience acne, while severe acne is experienced by 20% of the people in the world that experience acne. Now, you are likely to be in the group of 60%, and that is the people that experience mild acne, while the 20% of the people who experience severe acne are such a small percentage. I will move forth to how to get rid of acne naturally. Kindly, if you have reached this particular point in time and you are happy at what you see and you're so excited about what you've been able to learn, I would highly recommend that you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell and share with me any kind of feedback that you thought is useful for this video. Now, how to get rid of acne naturally. I personally am a skin enthusiast and a naturalist, because I believe that once you use natural products, there is less to lose and more to gain comparative to OTC products. OTC products have much more to lose because they might lead to adverse skin complications, and you might end up frustrated and devastated, and you might give up. The OTC products might also lead to severe acne. If you had mild acne, they might lead to severe acne, and that is just one thing that no one would want to risk. So I would advise personally that if you have any access to any natural products, I will give you my main natural product that I use that has worked for me wonders since the first day I ever used it. Let's get to it. The natural product that I use is raw honey. Yes, I use raw honey because it contains hydrogen peroxide that helps in treating of wounds, clearing of acne, and hyperpigmentation. Now, hydrogen peroxide works in a way that it breaks oxygen that is contained in water, and this oxygen that is produced helps remove dead skin cells. What we treat once we use natural products or OTC products is basically the outer layer of the skin. The outer layer of the skin contains various dead skin cells. So honey has hydrogen peroxide, which is very key in clearing the dead skin cells that are contained on your skin. Now, OTC products may have a larger composition of hydrogen peroxide, and this hydrogen peroxide, as it is manufactured, may have adverse effects on your skin. That is why there may be scarring, there may be increased redness, there might be inflammation or swelling, etc. That might be caused by OTC products that have a large composition of hydrogen peroxide. Now, you can never be so sure because they will never tell you. But personally, I will inform you that the composition of hydrogen peroxide in raw honey is 3.9%. Now, 3.9% when manufactured is actually a very concentrated amount of hydrogen peroxide. 3.9% is very large. No matter how small you might think the percentage is, 3.9% is very huge. That is why I would definitely advise you to use raw honey as a permanent substitute for all kinds of OTC products, because it has worked for me. Since the very first day I saw a change on my skin, on my hyperpigmentation. I had a couple of scars, I had acne everywhere, but it actually worked to dry out the oil glands. And the only amount of oil that was necessary on my skin was a specific amount, and the honey helped in perfect production of that particular amount of sebum. So I would just like to advise you that if it is possible you get access to raw honey. I say raw honey because there are many other types of honey, and I would like to get into that. There's processed, there's many other kinds of honey that are made in the industries that appear very light, but raw honey is what. I will get into details on how you're going to use raw honey on your face to be able to get a smooth and radiant skin within a period of 6 to 8 weeks, because that is the period that is used for one to be able to get smooth and radiant skin using raw honey. 6 to 8 weeks is around 2 months, and I'm sure it is a process that you will be fully satisfied with, you will be very content with, and eventually you will get the expected results that you desire. I have been your lovely host, Miss Xebella. This is the QB, and today I was basically enlightening you on what is most important, and that is your skin. Skincare is very important. A skincare regime and a skincare routine is equally important. If you would like to learn more about your skin, more about many other things that I'm going to take you through, kindly take a moment and hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. And if you have learned one or two things from this particular episode that you would like to inform me about or to tell me about, I'd appreciate it if you mention it in the comment section. If you also have anything that you would like to know more about, don't hesitate and mention it in the comment section. And I hope that I will definitely see you in the next one. Don't forget to share. Bye.